Jim Boeheim walked onto the court at PNC Arena on Saturday wearing a cheerful pink tie, sporting his standard smirk and carrying 108 fewer career victories than he had one day earlier. Television and still cameras surrounded Boeheim, Syracuse's coach, following his every move, capturing every one of his pleading gestures with referees and recording every pep talk with his players in a 71-57 loss to N.C.A.A. State. And when it came time for Boeheim to speak about it all after the game, the last in an unspectacular season for Syracuse, 18-13, 9-9 Atlantic Coast Conference, and perhaps Boeheim's last A.C.C. showdown until the middle of next season because of N.C.A.A. sanctions issued Friday, he chose simply to disappear. At a post-game news conference Saturday, a statement from Boeheim was distributed. The Syracuse assistant Mike Hopkins explained, "The only reason Coach Boeheim isn't here right now is because he doesn't want to answer, no comment." In the statement, Boeheim said, "I want to make sure today, as we play our last game and are together for last time as team, that the focus is on the players and all they have done to make our university proud. This should be the focus this afternoon and nothing else." He went on to say, "There will be a time in the future for me to more fully comment on N.C.A.A. issues, and of course I will take the opportunity to do that at the right time." On Friday, the N.C.A.A. issued a 94-page report summarizing a series of investigations over 8 years that found that Syracuse had committed violations that spanned more than a decade. Violations included forged classwork, cash handouts to players for volunteer appearances, and a lack of adherence to the university's drug policy. The program was placed on probation for 5 years and will lose 12 scholarships. Boeheim was suspended for 9 A.C.C. games, although reports have said he will appeal that penalty. The N.C.A.A. also removed 108 victories from his career total of 966, which had him ranked second, behind Duke's Mike Krzyzewski, in N.C.A.A. Division I. Boeheim, 70, was elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2005, 2 years after he guided Syracuse to its first national championship. His streak of 35 consecutive 20-win seasons is an N.C.A.A. Division I record. Boeheim issued a statement challenging many of the N.C.A.A. findings that concluded, "In short, I am disappointed with the infractions report. At this time, however, I will have no further comment on this matter as I consider my options moving forward." On Saturday, he stood by that proclamation, even after Syracuse stumbled in its final game of the season to finish with its worst winning percentage, .581, since it went 16-13 in 1981-82. Boeheim's sixth season as head coach. Before the N.C.A.A. report, Syracuse had announced a self-imposed ban from postseason competition this year, including the A.C.C. tournament. North Carolina State's fans did their best to make sure Syracuse's players and Boeheim did not forget the scandal. When Syracuse players shot free throws, a section of Wolfpack students chanted, "Fun to stay at the YMCA," a reference to the N.C.A.A. findings that impermissible benefits were provided to 3 Syracuse football players and 2 basketball players by 2 men affiliated with the Tri-Valley YMCA in Oneida, NY. Michael Hogan 12 hours ago. "Well, that certainly sets a new low standard for the term superhero. He's a crook. Tells you about the values he looks for in his coaching." Just 12 hours ago. Boeheim repeatedly gets recruits out of the projects, 3 of his starters this year. The kids are quite bright, many of their. N.C.A.A. 12 hours ago. "I am friends with a former adjunct professor at SU who resigned after being pressured to assign a failing student a passing grade. That. See all comments, write a comment." But Boeheim's presence was still felt. His 2-3 zone, the bedrock of Syracuse's defense, helped force 2 consecutive shot clock violations in the first half. Still, that was not enough to stave off a 16-0 run by the Wolfpack, 19-12, 10-8, that sent them to an easy win. Even as Hopkins, Boeheim's longtime assistant, carefully declined after the game to answer any questions about the investigation and the penalties, he could not help responding to a couple aimed specifically at how the program might respond to playing without Boeheim. "He's a legend," Hopkins said. "What he's done, I don't think anybody will be able to do ever again. He's a special guy. It's going to be hard, I can't tell you that. He's a legend." As for how Boeheim was handling the news of the infractions, "Coach is a warrior," Hopkins said. "A superhero." Hopkins's eyes watered, and he paused. "Superhero?" he said again, quietly.